We are just a little under 24 hours away from this week's 4 matchup where our Minnesota Vikings will take on the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium. I'm super excited for this one, not only because it is the Carolina Panthers, but we're facing an old friend, Adam Thielen, who's had a pretty good season up to this point, had his best week last week against whoever it was. Can't really remember off the top of my head. I think it was the Seattle Seahawks, but this one's going to be a good one. We always have some tough battles against Carolina, at least we had in the past, especially when Cam Newton was there. So this is always a fun game to kind of watch, but it's also a game where we need to win. Okay, 0-3 on the season, got to move to 1-3, and then we play the Kansas City Chiefs at home, and we already know that's going to be a very tough game to win. But hey, the Lions did it, but the Lions are a really good football team, so we'll see what happens. But we're 0-3 right now. This is a must-win game, and currently, let's look at the spread, the over-under, and the line. The Vikings are currently the favorites at 4.5 points, which I assumed was going to be the case anyways. I believe we have the better team, especially on paper. We just look more fluent. We're not dealing with a lot of injuries, which we'll get to in a second. Carolina dealing with a plethora of injuries, so we could see them not perform like how they are supposed to. But currently the over-under for this game is 46.5 points. If you're a bet man or a woman, I mean, you can do with this information what you will, but it could reach up there. Vikings offense, explosive, like to put points on the board. Our defense likes to allow some points every now and then. Even though I think we're headed in the right direction, we just have to play a little bit better in our secondary. Okay, can't allow those deep balls, can't allow those middle routes over the middle of the field, and we'll be just fine. But the money line currently is minus 225 for the Vikes and plus 180 for Carolina. So if you want to make some money, go ahead and do that on your own time. But let's look at the injury report for this game. Vikings, again, like I said, not dealing with a lot of injuries, where Carolina has a lot of them, at least on their injury report, but most of those players will be playing this Sunday or tomorrow. So let's look at the Vikings IR right here real quick. First and foremost, Marcus Davenport. Okay, we've only seen him one time this week. There's a reason he's wearing number 0, because that's the type of contribution he's given to our team so far. He's been hurt with an ankle injury. He has been labeled as questionable for this Sunday's matchup. Josh Metellus dealing with a little bit of a shoulder injury. He should be good to go. Byron Murphy also should be good to go with a hip injury. We'll see how he performs this game. I don't know if he's necessarily going to guard Thielen, but there's a good chance that he does. Patrick Jones, the second outside linebacker, he's dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. He should be good to go. He'll be playing that backup role under Danielle Hunter, and if Marcus Davenport goes, otherwise currently it's going to be Danielle Hunter and DJ Wanham as our edge rushers. Garrett Bradbury, been dealing with a little bit of a back injury since that car accident last year. He's been out the last couple games. Austin Schlottman has been in, playing some good ball, some decent ball. Ed Ingram, not sure what's going to happen with him, but it seems like Dalton Risner is going to take over that right guard position to start with this Sunday, and I hope that's the case, because if Ed Ingram's in there, I'm going to be very upset, and I think a lot of you guys will be too. But Garrett Bradbury is questionable currently. We'll see what happens going into the game warm-ups, and I'm sure that's where they'll figure out whether he's going to play or not. Lewis Cine dealing with a hamstring injury. He's been labeled as out. He suffered it during practice this week. It seems like he's going to take some time and really get this back to full strength, probably miss a couple weeks, but that's okay, right? We got Cam Bynum, we got Harrison Smith, we got Josh Metellus. We have enough depth in line so Lewis Cine can take some rest and really get back to 100% healthy. Jaren Hall, okay, third-string quarterback, dealing with a little bit of a personal issue, I guess. He has been labeled as questionable. It really doesn't matter. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be fine. He's going to be protecting that pocket. Nick Mullins will be fine. We shouldn't need Jaren Hall anyway. So that is the Vikings IR. Let's shift gears to that Panthers IR. There's a lot of names on this one, okay? We're looking at DJ Chark Jr. He's resting. He's going to be fine. He'll be good to go this game. Frankie Louvu, with a hip injury, he has been labeled as questionable. I'm sure it's going to be a game-time decision. Taylor Motton, rest. He's good to go. Xavier Woods, dealing with a hamstring injury. He's been labeled as out. Okay, hamstring injury is nothing to play with. Really hard to make your cuts inside and outside. And when you're a safety trying to guard these, big-time receivers, it's a little tough when you have a hamstring injury. He's been labeled as out. CJ Henderson, dealing with an ankle injury. He should be good to go. Jonathan Mingo, concussion. He's questionable, so I think it's going to be game time. Probably have to get through that concussion protocol, and we'll see how he is pending game time. LeBrian Ray, he should be good to go. Miles Sanders, dealing with a groin injury. He's been labeled as questionable as well for the Carolina Panthers. He should be good to go, but at the same time, I think this is going to be a game-time decision in what they really want to do in that backfield. I believe they still have Chuba Hubbard, so if they decide to go that route, we should be better off, right? Also, Chandler Zavala, calf injury, good to go. Bradley Bozeman, he's dealing with a quadriceps injury. He should be good to go. Bryce Young, we've seen earlier this week, who's dealing with that ankle injury, was activated or was listed as he's playing this Sunday. So Bryce Young should be that starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And if he goes down with another he tweaks it or something, Andy Dalton will come in, and I think we'll be just fine. This is a very winnable game for our Minnesota Vikings. Look, we're 0-3. We need to win this. It's a must-win, and it's a very winnable game. Let's get some momentum on our side, come back to home, and let's take on the Kansas City Chiefs next week. You guys let me know. Oh, also, real quick, N'Keal Harry, wide receiver for the Vikes, has been elevated from that practice squad. He is on our active roster for this Sunday, so it'll be interesting to see how we utilize him in the game plan. We might see him on some third downs. We might see him in the kick return, the punt return area. Not 100% sure, but keep an eye on N'Keal Harry this Sunday or tomorrow. So make sure to drop a like, leave a comment in the section of how you think this game is going to go, and also subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.